Good morning, children. In today's session, I am going to take class for 6th standard English. That is Unit 2 poem, memory poem. This is children. So first 8 lines, you should be thorough with this. So first I'll take this poem. From a railway carriage. That is Unit 2 poem, children. Page number that is 128. Okay. From a railway carriage. Carriage is nothing but a train. Okay. Faster than fairies, faster than witches. What is faster than fairies, faster than witches? That is the poet says. Train runs more quickly. Faster means quick, right? More quickly than fairies what is fly or witches more. Okay. So the poet says train runs more quickly than the fairies or the witches. Bridges and houses, hedges and ditches. So that is, it rushes leaving behind, that is, moves so fast that leaves behind, that it's go fast. இப்போ நம்ம வந்து சைடில் நம்ம ட்ரெயின் போகும்போது நம்ம வந்து என்ன பண்ணோம், ஜஸ்ட் ஒரு செகண்ட் எல்லாமே மூவ் ஆகிடுது இல்லையா. ஸோ இட் ஜஸ்ட் rushes leaving behind all the bridges, houses, hedges, ditches. Ditches means பள்ளம்னு சொல்கிறோம் இல்லையா, like that. And charging along like troops in a battle. That is, the train moves fast like soldiers are attacking enemies in the battlefield. Battlefield na theriyala porkala irukku illaya. So the train moves fast as the soldiers are attacking the enemies in the battlefield. So and charging along like troops in a battle. Then all through the meadows the horses and the cattle, that it runs and leaves behind the green fields. Meadows means green fields, and where horses and cattle are grazing. So it runs and leaves behind, what it runs and leaves behind? Green fields, that is meadows, and the horses and the cattle where they are grazing in the field. Next, all of the sides of the hill and the plain, that is, all the scenes of the hill and the plain are being crossed by the train. That is, all the hills and the mountains are crossed by the train. That is, all the sides of the hill and the plain. Then fly as thick as driving rain. That is, as quick as one drop of rain follows another drop of rain in a storm. That is, fly as thick as driving rain means, that is, one drop of rain follows other drop of rain. Appadi namak mala virudhu illaya, drop of rain in a storm. And ever again in the wink of an eye. That is, again and again in a very short moment. Okay. So the train moves in the wink of an eye means a very short moment. So what is a wink of a very short moment? Again and again the train moves. Then painted stations whistle by. So the train was crossing painted stations with a whistle. So with a whistle the train was crossing the painted stations. Here is a child who clambers and scrambles. That is, he also sees a child climbing a steep ground with difficulty. So when the train was crossing, what happened? It sees a child climbing the steep ground, okay, with the difficulty. Then that is, here is a child who clambers and scrambles all by himself and gathering brambles. So during his climbers, he gathers blackberries. That is, brambles means, that is, blackberries. Okay, so he climbs and gathers, what he gathers? Blackberries. Here is a tramp who stands and gazes. So he sees a homeless person who was looking at the train. That is, a homeless person means here, that is here given here, a person who travels from place to place on foot in search of work or as a beggar. Okay, so that is homeless person who was looking at the train. So this homeless person, that is a beggar also we can say, he was looking at the train. And there is a green for the stringing the daisies. That is, some ladies were making garlands. Garlands na malan solliya, garlands for daisy flowers. So the daisy flowers which avanga enna pannanga, mala senjanga. Garland means mala. So some ladies were making garlands of daisy flowers. That is, and there is a green for stringing the daisies. Here is a cart run away in the road. So he sees a cart means vandin solliya, moving slowly in the middle of the highway. So when the train was passing, what happens? The cart was moving slowly, lumping along with the man and load. That is, it was loaded with the cart driver and a load. Okay, so on the cart line and cart driver as well as the load. So fully loaded, full irundichu. Then, and here is a mill and there is a river. So he sees a mill and a river while traveling in the train. So what was saying, that is mill and a river while it was traveling in the train. And each a glimpse and gone forever. So all these objects appeared and disappeared so quickly. So when a train is passing, what happens? So quickly that the poet looked at them only for a short time and they can never be seen again. அதாவது நம்ம ட்ரெயின் பாஸ் பண்ணது நம்ம எல்லாத்தையும் பார்க்கலாம், திருப்பி நம்ம அதை பார்க்க முடியுமா? முடியாது. So when the train is passing, you can see only these objects which is appearing and disappearing. It looked at them only for a short time and they can never be seen again. Okay children, so what is the poem here? That is, the poet says, train runs more quickly than fairies and witches. It rushes leaving behind what it left behind, bridges, houses, hedges and ditches, and charging along like troops in a battle. So train moves fast like soldiers are attacking enemy in the battlefield. All through the meadows the horses and cattle. So it runs and leaves behind the green field. That is, meadows means what I said, green fields, where horses and the cattle were grazing in the field. All of the sides of the hill and the plain, so all the hill and the plain were being crossed by the train. So fly as thick as driving rain. So one drop of rain follows another drop of rain like a storm. Then and ever again in the wink of an eye. So again and again the train is moving in a very short moment. Painted stations whistle by. So it was covering painted stations with a whistle. Here is a child who clambers and scrambles. So when he was traveling in a train, he sees a child climbing a steep ground, with difficulty, all by himself and gathering brambles. So during the child was climbing, he was gathering all the blackberries by himself. So, and there is a green for stringing the daisies, and some ladies were making garlands with the daisy flowers. Here is a cart run away in the road. He sees a cart moving slowly in the middle of the highway, lumping along with man and load. So it was loaded, the cart was loaded with a driver as well as a load. And here is a mill and there is a river. He sees also a mill and the river while traveling in the train. Each glimpse and gone forever. So all these objects appeared and disappeared so quickly that the poet looked at them only for a short moment and they can never be seen again. So did you understand this poem, children? From a railway carriage, it's a memory poem, children. First 10 lines, 8 lines I'll write on the board, children. Be thorough with this 8 lines, okay? So those who have the book, you can learn the book. Those who don't have the notebook, I'm writing on the board. Take down in your notebook, children, okay? So this is a poem's this one heading. Faster than fairies, faster than fairies, faster than witches, faster than witches, bridges and houses, bridges. So wherever I am using capital letters, you should also write capital letters, children. You know very well. Hedges and ditches. So it's a memory poem. If you write wrong, marks will be cut, okay? Ditches and charging along like troops in a battle, like troops in a battle. All through the meadows, what I said, green field, okay? All through the meadows, the horses and cattle. The horses and cattle. All of the sides. All of the sides all of the sides of the hill and the plain, of the hill and the plain, and the plain, fly as thick as driving rain, fly as thick as driving rain, and ever again, and ever again, and ever again, in the wink of an eye. In the wink, what is it in the wink of an eye? What I said, children, a short, very, very short moment, okay? In the wink of an eye, painted stations whistle by. So till here, painted stations whistle by. Till here, you can learn, children, for your exam. This is 8 lines, okay? Painted station whistle by. All these 8 lines. Be thorough with these 8 lines, children. So those who don't have the book, take down in a notebook. Those who have the book, you should be thorough with this 8 lines, children, okay? So what is that? Faster than fairies, faster than witches. Bridges and houses, hedges and ditches. And charging along like troops in a battle. So where I am putting this commas and all, semicolons and all, you should write like same as this, children. And the first letters all should be in capital, okay? And charging along like troops in a battle, all through the meadows, the horses and cattle, all of the sides of the hill and the plain, fly as thick as driving rain, and ever again in the wink of an eye, painted stations whistle by. Okay, children, did you understand this? So what is that? Faster than fairies, faster than witches, bridges and houses, hedges and ditches, and charging along like troops in a battle, all through the meadows, the horses and cattle, all of the sides of the hill and the plain, fly as thick as driving rain, and ever again in the wink of an eye, painted stations whistle by. So all these 8 lines, be thorough, children. So on page number 129, they have given the meanings also. See the meanings. Charge, to make a rush at or sudden attack upon a person or thing. So what is charge, children? To make a rush at a sudden attack, what are doing upon a person or a thing. Then clamber. So I said clambers and scrambles, I said no. So what is a clamber? Climb or move in an awkward and laborious way using both hands and feet. So for to learn the meanings only, I am reading out, children. So listen carefully this words. Climb or move in an awkward and laborious way using both hands and feet. Brambles, a prickly scrambling shrub of the rose family, especially a blackberry. So what is brambles? A prickly scrambling shrub of the rose family, especially a blackberry. Tramp, a person who travels from place to place on foot in search of work or as a beggar. So what is tramp? A person who travels from place to place on foot in search of work or as a beggar. Stringing, hang so that it stretches in a long time. Stringing, hang so that it stretches in a long time. Lumping, carry with difficulty. Glimpse, see or perceive briefly or partially. See or perceive briefly or partially. Partially means paadin solraliya like that. So once again I'll say, children, charge, to make a rush at or sudden attack upon a person or thing. Clamber, climb or move in an awkward laborious way using both hands and feet. Brambles, a prickly scrambling shrub of the rose family, especially a blackberry. Tramp, a person who travels from place to place on foot in search of work or as a beggar. Stringing, hang so that it stretches in a long time. Lumping, carry with difficulty. And last one is glimpse, see or perceive briefly or partially. So there you have read the lines and answer the question, and these two you have, children. So in the next class I'll write this everything in the board, children. So with this we are finishing this poem. Thank you, children.